Hi everyone, James from No Limits Race Support. A lot of you seeing this already know who I am, but I feel like I have to introduce myself every time. Probably a nerves thing. I don't know what else to do. I hate doing these. I'm not sure whether I'm very good at them or not, but I'm really forcing myself to try and get into it and do it for you. So this is No Limits round 3 coming up at Croft, and just shooting a video from the latest No Limits studio. This is my lounge in my new house in Wrexham. I've moved back to Wrexham. I was previously living in Coventry, and work have been very supportive about me moving back to Wrexham for family reasons. So we're just settling in nice. We made the move last week. A lot of you know about it, and thank you for the kind wishes and well wishes. Thank you very much. But yeah, to work, to Croft. Enough about me, mumbling on. To Croft. What place we're going to go to. If you've never been there before, a real rider circuit, set in a real good part of the world, and the circuit is fantastic. With regards to the event, we're going to introduce something new at No Limits Racing. A couple of you have asked after it quite a bit at the first 2 rounds this year. It appears that disposal of old tyres has got a lot harder for you guys than I honestly realised. I thought you could just take them to your local tip and they'd take them, but I'm hearing all kinds of horror stories that they'll take 1 a month off you or whatever. So what we're going to do, what I propose to do, we're going to try at Croft, and hopefully this will work out for everybody. You already know if you pre-order a tyre, you get a £15 a tyre discount for the website price. Free fitting, we'll take it to the circuit, free fitting, etc, etc. Well, now what we're going to offer is when you pre-order a tyre, we'll take a tyre off you to dispose of. It doesn't necessarily need to be the tyre that comes off. It would be easier if it does that. I don't want it to get too messy. But you know, if you've bought a couple of tyres, I'll get rid of a couple of tyres for you. Okay. I'll write something up closer to the time of how that procedure is going to work. But just talking out loud from what I'm thinking is, pre-order the tyre, get your discount. We'll take it to Croft. We'll fit it for free. We'll get rid of your tyre. Those that you've done European events with us will know that we already do that on Euros. I think we're going to go a step further with it as well, where if you have a paid for changeover, so you come to us with part worn or a tyre you bought somewhere else previously, whatever, and you want it fitting, of course we'll do that for you. It's just £15 a wheel, cash or card. We do contactless, make it real quick and easy for you. You pay us your £15. In that £15, we'll get rid of the tyre for you as well. So I think that's a pretty fair deal. We're not hiding any costs anywhere. We're just going to give it a go, absorb the costs, make sure it works, and try and help you guys out, and also reduce the amount of scrap that's left around the circuits of a Sunday night, you know. Further to that, you know, I know there's guys that don't buy new tyres off us, don't use us for fitting, you know, guys that are fitting their own tyres in the paddock, and if you're doing that, you can still use us to get rid of your tyre, but I'm going to charge you for that. We're just going to charge you £5 a tyre. So if you change a couple of tyres through the weekend and you want them disposing of, please bring them to us and pay for us to dispose of them. Don't just chuck them in a skip or leave them at the side of the circuit or anything like that. Please bring them along and we'll dispose of them for you. So that was kind of the big kind of news leading up to Croft, and I hope that pleases some of you. Probably took too long to explain it than I needed to. Right, so Croft in June, end of May in June. Let's hope, fingers crossed, touch wood, it's going to be warm. And we're getting to that point in the season now where you've got some pace in you, you've got some decent setup in you, you know what's going on. Quite a high percentage of you will be familiar with Croft, hopefully. And I think now fingers start pointing to softer rear compounds. I'll talk about the front compounds first, actually, because it's really easy to summarise. Literally everybody that buys a front tyre off us buys an SC1 or a K1 front. And I think that tyre used at the highest level. So we just had road racing last week at the Northwest 200. The Metzler riders, David Todd, for example, is using a K1 front tyre, off the shelf K1 front tyre. British Superbike, them boys are using SC1. Some use SC2s, but the high majority of people use the SC1 Slick 125 in Superbike, obviously. Some stockers use a 2 front, the fast stock lads, fast 600 lads do as well in the 120, but the SC1 gives you the best contact feel. You kind of know what the tyre's doing, where it's going, plenty of grip, good life. You know, as amateur racers, we don't really wear the front tyre out unless we've got quite poor setup, and then we've got answers for that, which I'll discuss later in the conversation. So I think high majority are going to go SC1, K1, great. On the rear, I think now, again, high majority are going to go SC1 or K1. I think either of those compounds is really good. In some sizes, a K1's not going to be available, like in a slick, it's available in 180, 60 and 260. SC1's available in quite a range of products, slick and tread. So again, high percentage of you use Pirelli products. So I think SC1 front and rear is a good way to go. The kind of lean either side of that, if you are looking for some longevity, and I had a good conversation with somebody the other day, and they were like, I just want a tyre to do as much of Friday, Saturday and Sunday as possible in the back. The stronger compounds are still going to work for you, and they're still going to last longer. If it's really warm, they'll fight against the heat. You'll feel this kind of movement from the back where if it's particularly hot, the tarmac's a bit slippy, and the grip will be there. It's just not the same, whereas the softer compounds sit and drive. The trade-off for that is the sit and drive of a 0 or an X or a 1 or whatever you use, the longevity of the tyre decreases. And when we go softer in the Pirelli range, it kind of comes to a point more things need to work properly for the tyre to work properly. If you get the heat off or the pressure off just ever so slightly, especially when you start using X's, the tyre doesn't work as well. So they're not quite as user friendly as the 2s and 3s in the compound range in the back. But I think now, given this point of the season, I'd be putting an SC1 as the kind of strongest tyre in there. Opposite sides of the scale, so go from strong to soft. A lot of you guys now are going to start using zeros. So my fast 600 lads have been on zero since the start of the year. They'll stay on zeros. A couple of them might drop to the X, maybe. In a 190/60, the X that they use at World Super Sport. And then in the big bike classes, there's already been a good few of you at Brands Hatch using the zero. I think more of you will stay on the zero. Some of you will come from a 1 to a 0. Some will go from a 0 to an X. We have got Qs in the lorry for this next event. There might be a couple of you that want to try a Q, but that really is a one-hit wonder tyre. There's no grip like it. A few lads used it last year to great effect, But I think what I'm trying to say to you is it's that time of year now where I want you to start thinking maybe there is a good trade-off for using the softer compound tyre, and because we have the ambient temperature with us in our favour at the circuit, you should get pretty decent wear out of it, That leads me to my next part of my story. This is going on, isn't it? But hopefully you've got nothing better to do. Croft is bumpy, always has been. I liked it. I'm not saying I was the best motorcycle racer in the world. I was far from being the best motorcycle racer in the world, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that kind of round the back, and it's doing that in your hands. It makes you feel like you're alive, in my opinion. That said, it could also be a setup issue. And obviously we've got Colin and Diane from 100% Suspension in the paddock. And I've known Colin and Diane since I started doing track days, crikey, 20-something odd years ago. And he's got great experience around there, which a lot of suspension technicians don't, because not many people go there, and it's been a long time since BSB have gone there. So when you're telling Colin stuff, he knows it, and a lot of you have been using him. Obviously, he parks next to us at all the events, and we keep a beady eye on what he's up to and what you guys are up to. And it's really good to see that people are coming across with their bikes and getting the bike set up, or just coming across and leaning on his pole and saying, that sounded a bit rude actually, leaning on his awning pole and asking questions and whatever. And the feedback to me is he's been really good in helping a lot of you, even without setting bikes up. He's doing this a bit, just try a click of that or whatever. But I would encourage you at Croft, if you are struggling with some setup, if you want me to look at a tyre, I'll look at a tyre and I'll tell you where you're going wrong, no probs. But as you've experienced with me recently, the last few years, I always tend to push you towards a suspension guy if I don't think it's something to do with the tyre, my precious tyres. Right, so that's Colin. He'll be with us. Give him a shout beforehand if you want to book in, or if you need to book any service work in and stuff like that. I think they're arriving later on the Thursday, so give those guys a call. Get in touch with them through their social media channels. Colin and Diane, they're really good people. They'll look after you. Speaking of really good people, Dave and Lynn Holmes, D&L Holmes, will be there with the parts wagon again. So any bits and bobs you need, pop along and see Dave. We also do some parts, obviously. Maybe our parts are a little bit more premium to Dave. You know, like we've got the new range of Alpine Star Supertech boots in stock. We've got some RIs in stock. RST V 4.1 airbag leathers with a great discount off everything, by the way. SBS brake pads, all these kinds of bits and bobs. But between us and Dave, we hope to get you covered for what you might need when you're on track with us. What else do I need to go about? I think that's about it. I'm at about 10 minutes, I think, looking at my laptop. I hope that's all okay for you. I've probably missed something. I'm sorry if I have. If you've got any questions, let me know. Orders online, you get your discount online. Remember to sign in and link your 2025 membership. If you haven't linked your 2025 membership, you won't get the discount applied. You might have a 24 membership on there, which you need to go into your account, unlink, and then link it back up for the 25, and your account number is your membership number, so it's 250 and then whatever it is, it's 6 digits long. Then when you're on the shop site, it'll come up no limits member discount applied. Order your tyres via the site. I need the orders in Monday 12 o'clock before the event, please, and just so we can get everything together and make sure we can get everything in time to the circuit for you. If it's not shown as available on the site, it probably isn't available. We do ring fence a lot of tyres ready just for the race meetings, so we hide them away from everybody else on general sale. Another reason why you have to be logged in. But as soon as you choose a race circuit and your membership number is activated or recognised, the tyres come from a different location on the website, so it shows you what we have got. So like at the moment, there isn't any 120 SC1 slicks, or there wasn't last week. Maybe some have come into stock now for free stock, but there wasn't. However, we have them sat, ready, allocated to you at the event, so you can order them, if that makes sense. So trying to give you first dibs effectively. Yeah, and then take some time to look around the rest of the website as well. It is, I've been saying for a year now, that it is work in progress, but it truly is. It truly is. And speaking of work in progress, I meant to start with this. I've got a new member of staff working with us in No Limits Race Support. Simon Holloway, great friend of mine. We've known each other a long time. Simon worked for Competition Logistics and Pro Tyre, working at the BSB, organising the logistics there, the tyres and whatnot. Very knowledgeable man. He started just before Brands. We're going to introduce him at Croft, bringing Simon into the awning along with Shane and the other lads to help you in the awning. I will still be in the awning. You'll still see me, but the idea being that I want to get out and about and interact with you guys. Like, I find it difficult to leave the awning because when we get busy, it leaves us short. But now with Simon coming in, there'll be enough lads in the awning that if it does get busy, they can cover it without me having to be there. And it allows me to get out and about and start really like seeing you come off track, or having time to spend in your awning, talk to you, rather than you walk in and go, oh, fucking hell, he looks busy and mithered and whatever. I'll not talk to him. You know, I want to be here to help you, and the more I can help you, the better you'll be on your bike, and the better the tyre will be, and hopefully the faster you'll go, the safer you'll be. There's a lot of boxes to be ticked, and what I'm kind of keen to do at Croft, because there's not a lot of power, is walk around with my temperature reading gear, my infrared gun, my pyrometer, and take some readings and see how hot your tyres are getting on your tyre warmers, on your generators, in the garages with mains power. I still think a lot of the problems people have with tyres is that the temperature and the pressure is just wrong. You know, you're setting your pressure thinking it's right at 26 psi, but you're setting it at 50 degrees because your tyre warmer's not getting hot, or you're setting it at 26 psi at 120 degrees because the tyre warmer's getting too hot. You know, so it's just figuring out, you know, a lot of these tears that we see with tyres can be helped. You know, it's simple things like that big, thick, fat, horrible tear. It's just you set the tyre wrong, you know, but maybe you don't know how to. And actually me being in the awning saying, right, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And maybe I'll do a video on it, you know. Here's me saying at the start of the video, I hate doing it. And now I can't fucking shut up. So I'm going to shut up. Hopefully I've got everything in. Any questions, give me a shout. You'll get me on the work number. My office is now at home. I still go into the office once a week. I've started doing it at the moment. You'll get Simon in the office as well. Get me on an email. We've started doing Instagram as well, which I think this is where this is going to go. So you might get me on there through a message. So reach out if you need me, basically. I'll shut up now. Thank you, and I will look forward to seeing you all at Croft. Cheers.